Hi guys, this is Chrystal Lynn, and I just wanted to thank you for joining me. And I thought I'd do something a little different today. I've had this topic on my mind for quite a long time, and to be honest, it's one of those things I believe that if you have not experienced it personally, it's hard to really understand the depth of what this transition means in your life. And some people call it the midlife crisis. Some people call it, in astrology, Uranus opposing Uranus in your chart. And in where is Uranus now? So this happens at approximate period of time when somebody is anywhere from 38 to 41 years old. You got to remember that Uranus takes 86 years to get around. So this happens about midway. So I'm going to talk from my chart today a little bit, you guys. I'm going to talk a little bit from my experience and try to help you go and look at your chart when we're done and find out when and where and what's going to be happening and prepare you for this. And you might think right now, oh, I'm super young. That's not till I'm 35. This video has nothing to do with me. Oh, yes, it does. Because everything you're doing right now is in perfect alignment for preparing you. I had to really ask myself, had I known this information and understood this level of astrology back when I was beginning this transition in my life, would that have helped me? And you know what? I really came to the answer and conclusion that yes, it would have really helped me, because I thought I was the only one in the world going through this, and it was so shocking to my conscious and my system and my emotions. And being a moon and having a moon in Pisces and a moon and a rising in Pisces, this was very hard on me. It was very hard on me because, you know, and I think having a sun in Virgo, planning the perfect life, doing everything right was something that was very important to me in my first 35 years. So what happens in this process, you've got to understand what Uranus does. It's a higher vibration of Mercury, so it's a lot of energy, but it's like buildup and electric lightning bolts in your life, changes, shocks, transitions, kind of separating from things. It just comes in and really creates a lot of havoc, so it seems at the time. And all of a sudden, you're just out of nowhere, things are happening, people are coming in your life. You're hearing things differently. You're seeing a different future. And then the life that you've spent your whole life building, suddenly, the dream, suddenly looks like a prison that you've walled yourself into that dream and there's no way out. And when this happens in your life, things begin to happen subconsciously and around you that force you through it. There's just no way out. And so I guess if I'm just here to say I'm a survivor of a Uranus opposition, Uranus transit in my life, and it's so wonderful here on the other side. So if there's anything I can share today of my personal experience, my personal life that might help you guys prepare for this, or if you're going through it, maybe understand it a little bit better. So let me just give you a little bit about my life transits here a minute, and then we'll see how they apply to you guys. So Uranus moved in to Pisces, okay, March 10th, 2003. I also have my rising in Pisces, and my moon is in Pisces. So this really hit all of us Pisces very hard, because I have Uranus in Virgo. Pisces and Virgo are the exact opposites. So this is a true opposition. And so it was opposing my soul, who I was, the things of my essence, but it was conjuncting with my moon and my rising. So it was just really getting me true to myself and really having insights. But I thought I was going crazy. I really did, because I was just seeing things so differently. A lot of things were illuminating in me. Here's a couple of things I read this morning about. I was just reading different books and different things, and I liked some of these descriptions. It's a culmination, a release, unexpected events, shakeups of your old realities. Messengers bringing new perspectives, feeling of restlessness, anxiety, because it's disrupting the old patterns, the ones you spent your whole life building. It's like a summer lightning storm, which releases the buildup of pressure and clears the air. Yeah, it really does. Lightning bolts of Uranus illuminate the landscape of your psyche, and we see a new life ahead. We're freed up from the ghosts of our past. So you can see that this is a very, big transition. Now, interestingly enough, about 22 years old, you have your first Uranus square. So I have Uranus in Virgo, and at that time Uranus was in Sagittarius, and that's a square, and that will happen to everybody about 2022. It's kind of like a little baby lightning bolt. You don't get the big huge lightning bolt yet, but you get a little baby lightning bolt. Something about 2022, you're going to have a sense of authenticity. You're still going to have a feeling for your dream, of who you are, of what you want. But as life continues to go on, sometimes that ideal or that dream just looks like it's never going to happen. So you give it up. Maybe you continue on and you go to school and you do what everybody else wants you to do, or maybe you're just doing what you think the best thing to do is. But in the back of your mind, that little dream is calling, that little part of you that's very authentic. But when you have your first Uranus opposition, that little imprint that was imprinted in you from 20 to 22 is going to come back to the forefront and remind you that you have to have that. You cannot give it away to anyone again. Now, in looking at my personal chart, you guys, and hey, I read my chart, I look at my chart, try to look as realistically at my chart as I can. It's hard to look for yourself, but I look for myself like I would be looking for someone else. I really attempt to do that objectively. And I read my chart all the time because I come to new awarenesses all the time about astrology. I'm just constantly learning new things to add, to look at. It's really frustrating when you've done like everybody's chart and then you learn something new and now you have to go back and look at the chart again and see it in a whole new perspective. It's actually kind of fun, but I do a lot of that. So it's very important to understand that when I look at my chart, I have a lot of planets, Pisces, Virgo, Libra, a lot of strong placements there. So we see codependent, we see, martyr, we see, don't want to be criticized, anxious, worrying, all of those things. Perfectionism, we see all of these different things and how easy it would be for me in my first 35 years, not understanding my power and who I am as a person, to give those things away and trying to make everybody else okay. That was really my first 35 years. Also, I had my South Node in Libra, guys. I've been talking a little bit about South and North nodes. So I was trying so desperately to have all of these relationships and business partners and different things, and they just always ended up frustrating, and I just couldn't understand why. It was heartbreaking. Well, also during this period from about 30 to 35, even to 40, you're moving from your South Node to your North Node. So that's also happening at this time. And my North Node is in Aries, which is all about the warrior. Go out and get what you want. You don't need anybody to validate you. You don't need anybody to help you. If you gain help and encouragement, it's just the cherry on the cake, but you can do this. You don't need the unhealthy relationships that you were striving for. Of course, I didn't think they were unhealthy at the time, but now I can see, where they were rooted from. And it's just part of these themes that are embedded in us, you guys. We're all playing the hero cycle in some way, shape, or form. The other thing that happens when you're going through this opposition, okay, we're going a little later now, 38 to 41. The other thing that happens is you will square, let's see, I have this written down. I always do this. I guess I should just accept it. You have this square with Saturn and Uranus about the middle of the opposition. And when that happens, it's like everything goes to the peak. Okay, so that happens in everybody's chart. So these different things are triggering radical changes in your life. I kind of, when I read the descriptions of what people go through in this transit, we call it the midlife crisis. So of course we hear, men running off and getting younger women, new cars, women having affairs, having babies, having, radical changes, divorces, remarriages, because everybody is just like scrambling. And anything that isn't going to make it through that transition are things that really started to not work and aren't going to work. And it's very hard to come to that conclusion at times because you spend your whole life, giving everything to that. And then when it actually doesn't work out, it's really hard to accept. But what's happening is that you are evolving into another person, and the people and the things around you that can support that and love that and help you grow to the next stages of your life are the ones that are going to come center stage. And again, I wish I would have understood that because I beat myself up a lot. And finally, really it was just one of those moments where you just kind of cry out and say, you know what? I am not in control. I am not in control. And it's like once I said those words, you guys, my whole entire life began to change. And although I thought I was living authentically, now that I understand the stages of what that means, I wasn't living authentically. I was living for everybody else, trying to put my little dream in everybody else. And now I can just be true to myself. I have things to say. And, that brings me, it's probably why I'm a little bit, talking about this. Maybe this is a little bit more of an emotional subject. But it brings me to what's happening right now in July 2013. We are in the process of the most beautiful grand water trine where Neptune in Pisces, Saturn in Scorpio, and Jupiter in Cancer line up. In fact, the 17th, they're going to be like exact degrees, 5 degrees, like right in there. A lot of miracles have to happen for this trine right now, you guys. A lot of things astrologically, just miraculously, are coming together. You just don't see this. In fact, I have a little job for you of my little investigators. Why don't you guys find out when the last time we had a grand water trine was? That would be really cool information. So we have this going on, and those of us who have water in our charts are going to be at the forefront. Creativity. It's also with Saturn and Scorpio, it's forcing us to be real. No bullshit, guys. It is what it is. And that's what people are looking for. They're looking for ways to grow authentically. They're tired of the games and the pretensions, and they're just trying to gain something and ending up empty-handed. No, this is stuff that's going to come from within. This is a miraculous moment. I want you guys to get on board, and this effect of this trine is going to last all year long. So we're going to have different stages. It's very powerful, but it's very powerful this month. We astrologers have been waiting decades and decades for this month. So I want you guys to be ready. Why am I telling you now on the 3rd about something on the 17th? Because we should start to be feeling it, and it's building. Astrology is of no good use if you're not applying it. You're the power behind the tools. The tools are there for you to take and to use and to know when to hit the hammer and maybe know when, it's not going to rain so you can go out and build the deck. It's there to know when, but you're still the one behind it. You're still the one bringing your energies. And if you're going through something right now that just feels like it's never going to end, or you're just being ripped apart, everything you believe, it's forcing you into a new way of thinking, trust the universe. I wish I would have known that these things are all very intricately planned in our lives, and everybody goes through them. I isolated myself during that time from people and things, and I just didn't know how to cope with it. And now that I understand it, I'm like, I'm the poster child. Oh yeah, I got a divorce, I got remarried, I had a baby, I thought I was a teenager. Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, all of those things happened, and I can't believe I'm on the other side of this and so happy. And so with the right partners in my life and my children and my family and other people involved are growing and are heading to great things in their life. And I took all of that. I weighed all of that responsibility on my shoulders, and it wasn't on my shoulders. I'm just a little speck in the big picture, you know. And I can see now what appeared to be so tragic, so horrible, has been the greatest blessing in my life. And I never believed I'd live the day to say those words. And I am. So, you guys, there's a lot going on. Uranus right now is in Aries. So what you need to do is you need to find out, what is he doing at your chart? What is he doing to you? Well, if you're Libra, or if you have any placements of Libra, he is opposing you right now. So if you have Uranus in Libra, you are in the process of this midlife astrological time frame. If you have Mars in Libra, you know, he's opposing your Mars. So there could be a lot of aggression and angry feelings and things erupting, and maybe relationships really coming to the forefront. If you have Moon in Libra, I'm just using this as an example. Emotionally, you're being triggered. Your emotions are coming back to you. Good things are coming back, and it's changing your old ways of thinking. And you know, posing isn't always bad. It's just when you're going through those real sharp points, it just feels like, you know, you have to make a decision. You know, especially Libras, you know, we don't like to make decisions. If it's in Cancer, if it's in Capricorn, it's squared. So what is happening? What is going on in your chart? And if it's in Aries, it's in conjunct. So you're on fire, you know, you're on fire, but you're still having a lot of radical change. So that's why everybody's been talking about these 4 cardinal signs, because they are hit at the forefront. My Mercury and Venus is in Libra. So Uranus is opposing my mind, my communication, and my love, the things I love. Well, yeah, and I'm loving new things, and I'm talking about different things, and my communication is changing, and I'm doing things I never would have done before. I'd have never sat here and talked like this. I've been out riding the horses and teaching from a distance, you know. This is something that this beautiful lightning bolt has done for me. So don't be afraid of the oppositions. Just realize they're going to provoke radical change. Let that happen, because those things are already true in your heart. You already want to do them. You already want them, but you're just afraid to say it. You're afraid to say, this is what I want, and this is going to bring you to what you want. So it's time to take care of yourself. If you are in these age groups of this, if you have any questions about it, please comment below, you guys, and share the videos if there's anybody I could be, you know, encouraging to or helpful to, because I feel like I wish I would have had somebody just like this guiding me through it, that I could hear and see that they really did live through it, and it'd be okay. So I guess that's what I'm here to do. And as I continue to unfold my story, I hope you guys will be able to see how these astrological transits have played out. I'm just trying to be an example so it's not so scary for everybody. So please comment below, like, and subscribe, because I've got all kinds of cool things coming. And let me know if this was helpful to you. Okay, thanks, guys. Bye.